Kia ora and welcome to Pitopito Kōrero Metro News, a show brought to you by the students of the New Zealand Broadcasting School. On today's episode, we take a look into the controversial farmers' tax, how locals are feeling. Mount Hutt welcomes guests back for a longer ski season. And where have all New Brighton's bins disappeared to? There's just 2 weeks left of consultation for a controversial farmers' tax. With feelings running high on both sides, I got a feel for the mood when farmers came to town. You could hardly hear yourself think. Last Friday's countrywide protest might not have been Groundswell's largest, but here in Christchurch it certainly felt like its loudest. With walkers from Cathedral Square and a convoy of tractors from the south, supporters, young and old, congregated on the corner of Lincoln Road and Morehouse Ave to a cacophony of drive-by allies.
I just think it's a worthy cause to support the farmers of New Zealand.
This government has decided to pick on the primary industries. The emissions trading that we're going to be imposed upon us by this government is not acceptable.
Earlier in the month, the government unveiled a potential levy on emissions produced by food production in the agricultural sector. If it goes ahead, it will be a world first. So while it remains under consultation, those on the ground are using the time to express their concerns.
They know their proposal will drive farmers out of business and off the land and want to do it anyway. Well, guess what? We're not We're not going to take it.
The government says revenue from this proposed levy will be recycled back and reinvested into the sector in the form of new technology, research and incentivised payments. Hundreds of millions of dollars has also been allocated to supporting farmers through this transition. However, those here at the protest today say it's not worth it.
The producer boards, federated farmers, should tell the government to get stuffed.
Not all in the sector agree, however. He Waka Eke Noa's Program Director Kelly Forster says farmers need to be realistic.
There isn't a just say no option. There will be a pricing system, way, shape or form. What farmers and what the partnership has the opportunity to do is to shape that system to make sure it's manageable.
Though she adds the proposal is not viable in its current state, specifically around social and economic impacts and sequestration.
So what we're doing is working on solutions to bridge the gap. And government knows that as well. That's why they consult. They're not consulting with the end product, they're consulting to listen to where it needs to change.
With consultations closing mid-November, Groundswell supporters will have to wait to hear their fate. Emily Ansell, Pitopito Kōrero Metro News. Although warmer weather has reached our shores, don't hang up your boots just yet. Mount Hutt ski area has extended their season with spring session passes allowing skiers to enjoy the cold for an extra week and a half. Cameron Joe checks out the fields to see what's cool.
As we step into spring, this winter wonderland is still going strong. Mount Hutt ski area has reached a new peak this year with its longest season to date.
It's pretty neat. Now, closing this Labour weekend for our general seasons pass holders and adding the camp in, it's the camp that gives us the extra length of season. So it doesn't happen a lot that we get out to sort of Labour weekend. And then, of course, adding on the camp is the thing that really makes it a record for us.
Despite planning to close earlier this month, this extension is thanks to an extra helping of snow.
When we look at the data that we get back from our groomers as they drive around, they've got GPS in them and you can see the depth of the snow, and we can see that we've got plenty of snow, so therefore there's an opportunity for us to consider opening and extending the season.
While this snowy peak closed on Monday, freestyle skiers and snowboarders will still be able to try out their tightest tricks as the terrain park remains open for spring sessions.
We've also got like our spring camp as well, so that's an additional 2 weeks after that, so we'll close on the 6th of November.
Something they're all thrilled for.
I mean, more time here is like great because I just enjoy it so much. Hopefully, well, we've got a bit of a fresh dusting as you can see, so this snow should stay for the remainder of the season.
If people are still coming up and skiing, then we'll keep the mountain going as long as we can.
A hope for these slopes for many years to come.
Look, I'm always positive about the future seasons. I know that we've got some great plans for the summer in terms of our investments here, and so they should lead on and flow on to an even better season next year.
As they prepare for their final week of 2022, it looks like it's all uphill for this snowscape. Cameron Joe, Pitopito Kōrero, Metro News.
Next time you're at the beach and feel the need to clean up, you may struggle to locate your nearest bin. Daniel Parisi heads to New Brighton Beach to investigate where they've all gone.
Trash, trash, trash. New Brighton is littered with it. But why is it in the sand and not in a bin? I spoke with community board member Joe Zervos, who has tried to bring back the bins.
There's been a bin issue for several years. The council's decided to actually remove bins from a lot of park areas, so people take personal responsibility to take their own rubbish home.
A plan that backfired.
And if there were the bins handy and everything, I'm sure people will actually pick it up, put it in the bin, help do the right thing.
When I spoke to council, they said that there was no new plans for installing new bins at New Brighton. But with summer just around the corner, it is unsure how much litter may end up on our beautiful beach.
People are really wanting bins on the beach, especially when it comes to dog litter.
I decided to speak to those in the area about the issue.
I don't know why they're not taking it seriously. I mean, it's an issue everywhere, and places like this could be made to look so much more nicer if there's not littered with rubbish everywhere.
God, it's inconvenient. Like people like me will carry it and find a bin, but there's a lot of people out there which actually won't do that. They'll just throw it on the ground or bury it in the sand.
We're taught from a very young age, when you have rubbish, you take it to a bin and you dispose of it there. And when there is no bin, it is an awkward and annoying situation to find yourself in, really.
We put in a request to the council staff to actually get extra bins, but instead they took more away.
A consequence that has left our beach feeling like a landfill.
It would be really good to have back what we actually lost. We've lost probably about 4 on the beach. We've lost probably like a couple up the ramp here, 1 down the other end, and in this area, 3 here, there's probably 2 that have gone missing now.
It is uncertain what the future holds for our beautiful tatahi, but for now, all we can do is our bit for the environment. Daniel Parisi, Pitopito Kōrero, Metro News.
Coming up next, Christchurch's Grand Town Hall makes its comeback, and we find out why Cantabrians have to walk the extra mile. Stay with us.
My name is Ella Cook. I'm a television production manager in London. I work for a company called Red House Television. I work on property shows, comedy and entertainment. I worked as the production assistant on New Zealand's Got Talent on Target on What Now. I came to London nearly 4 years ago now. Didn't have any issues finding a job at all. I went to a company called Hat-Trick Productions. We won a BAFTA last year, as well as were nominated this year. To even be nominated and go to the awards was something I never ever thought that I would ever do, but then to also win it and go up on the BAFTA stage was just a brilliant feeling. I love living in London. Definitely a big change from living in New Zealand. There's so many people, it's so busy and bustling all the time. I also love being able to just go to the theatre or see something different every night. The professionalism that we are taught at broadcasting school really helps in the wider world. I had my degree on my CV as well as the work experience that I'd gained after my internship. I would never have thought that I'd get this far. It's the best thing that I ever did for my career. There's no way that I would be where I am today without the degree that I have.
Kia ora and welcome back. Despite being closed for 8 years following the quakes, Christchurch's Town Hall is standing tall for its 50th anniversary. On Sunday last week, its doors opened to the public for a celebration put on by council, and as Cameron Joe discovered, it was a day full of music and fun.
The band is loud, there's a crowd, and the Christchurch Town Hall stands proud for its 50th anniversary. Last weekend, council and venues Ototahi invited the public inside to celebrate this milestone.
We've got the Town Hall Open Day, so that's where all the community are invited to come in, walk around the Town Hall, reminisce, do some storytelling and enjoy some local cuisine again and some entertainment from the region.
Marking 5 decades of extravagant events.
Whether it's people who had been in this auditorium for their school ball, it might have been the school choir, seen a concert, been to an event. So the wide range of events that are held over Town Hall over the last 50 years, everyone has a story and that's really important to our community.
It may be all fun and games here today, but this stage behind me has been home to some world-renowned acts, such as the Jackson 5 in the 70s, U2, Shapeshifter and Benny.
I think it's great considering we saw it being built, and to be 50 years down the track and after earthquakes is wonderful.
Following the 2011 quakes, the hall held its last event for a while.
So I mean, obviously it was devastating what happened in the city. Essentially it was a full refurbishment in terms of every part of the building. It was severely damaged, so as a result when it opened in March 2019 it was actually shining, but it still felt like the Town Hall, which was really important.
Gone for 8 years, but not forgotten.
Well, I think everybody knows where the Town Hall in Christchurch is. It's just a wonderful place to be.
So the calendar's looking really strong and we can't wait to bring more events to the community for many years to come.
And based on Sunday's turnout, it looks like this beloved venue won't be having its final curtain call anytime soon. Cameron Joe, Pitopito Kōrero, Metro News.
Christchurch may be flat, but is it walkable? Daniel Parisi speaks to a professor at the University of Canterbury to discuss his latest findings.
Christchurch, well known for how flat the city is, but in a surprising turn of events, it was ranked 18th out of 42 urban areas in Aotearoa for accessibility to amenities. To talk more about this, I spoke to Dr. Tom Logan, who wrote the research paper that the ranking came from.
We were interested in looking at how you measure the 15 or 10-minute city, and the reason for that is to help cities around New Zealand and around the world to actually take steps to improve that.
Amenities like a large supermarket.
The main thing is that we reduce the distance that people have to walk, or basically to make our cities more walkable and more bikeable, have enough amenities so that people want to walk and bike so they don't have to use their cars.
In his research, Christchurch declared itself as wanting to be a 15-minute city, so I decided to head down to council and talk to Sarah Templeton.
So one of the key things that we can do to bring people closer to the amenities is through planning, so through some more urban intensification, so more people living in the same area closer to those amenities is a really good start.
Research shows that 33% of Christchurch has actually reached that goal, with majority falling short. That is probably why people prefer to drive.
54% of our emissions come from the transport, and about 36-37% of that is from just private vehicle transport. And so one of our key things is on that transport space, so making the city more walkable, more bikeable, safe for people to get around without using their cars is really important.
It may take years before Otautahi can become a 15-minute city, but for now, those in a 33% range should walk, bike or scooter to help save our planet. Daniel Parisi, Pitopito Kōrero, Metro News.
That's all for Pitopito Kōrero Metro News. I'm Emily Ansell, thank you for joining us and we'll see you again next week. Ka kite anō.